Hi, everyone. Good evening here in Arizona. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are in parts of this world. I am Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge to the Unseen. And I'm just going to paste something in here for those that are new. And give me a second, I'm going to pin it. There we go. All right, let's get started. So this is Table Talk Thursdays, and tonight's topic, trying to pull it up on my tablet so I can follow along this evening. I am without a moderator, which is fine. Hi, Paula. Welcome. Hi, Jamie. Welcome. So glad you're joining us this evening. So tonight's topic is soul contracts. And if you're new to us tonight, this evening, it's evening here. This is a weekly, hi Tracy, welcome. This is a weekly Table Talk Thursday. It is a open interactive forum. We pick a topic every week and we have a general discussion about it. And hi Jen, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for offering that to me and asking me. Yes, I am very well. Thank you. Hi Princess Sophia, welcome. All right, I'm going to pull my tablet right in front of me so I'm not looking away. Anyhow, Table Talk Thursdays. Yay. Hi, Sharon. Welcome. And like I said, this is an open interactive forum where you guys get to ask me questions, general topic questions about our topic of the week, which is soul contracts. These, I've just got to be clear because every once in a while I get somebody in that wants to ask me like a reading, a mini psychic reading question. That is not what tonight is about. It's about sharing of information and knowledge and experience of my own and all of you. And you get to ask me questions, like I said, about let's talk about soul contracts. So I am so happy you're here too. Hello, Cindy Rose. Hello, hello. So I'm hoping you guys will get really involved and let's talk back and forth. I don't want to just sit and talk at you. That's not what this works for me. I mean, it works for me. I can do it, but it's so much more fun. And I get to learn from you guys too. And I love, love, love the questions because I know this stuff. You don't. And that's what I'm here for, to be of service and help you. Hi, Natalie. Welcome. So let's start out with soul contracts. We've kind of been on a theme this last month or so, our loved ones on the other side. And then last week we did past lives, and soul contract works right into that. It flows right into that. Excuse me. And what is this about? Well, exactly what it says, soul contracts. So we have many, many, many lifetimes. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. I see you have a question. That is a specific reading question, mini psychic reading question, my dear. And tonight's a little different. I have my normal weekly Wednesday lives where I answer. Hi, Samantha. I answer. I do mini readings, psychic mini readings. That's at 11 a.m. every Wednesday. That's Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. Hi, Angel Heart. Good evening. Excuse me. And I also have my last minute lives that I do where I do psychic mini readings. Tonight, though, and I hope you'll stay for this because it's a lot of fun. We get to, hi, Kelly, welcome. We get to go back and forth and you guys share with me and ask me questions about specific topics, general questions about specific topics. Okay. Stephanie is asking me any messages. Well, it comes down to, yes, I do channel message at the very end for everybody. But tonight, again, it's more of a teaching and sharing of experiences and asking me questions about soul contracts. What have you always wanted to know? What have you always wanted to know about that? What is it about? And so, um, okay, so I have a question here already. Let's see. Have you got twin flame purpose and the meaning of it on one Thursday on the schedule, please? Yes, 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 Princess Sophia. It's interesting you asked that because today, as I was doing a little bit of prep, I'm like, I know several people have been interested in the twin flame topic. So I think right now, the way it's looking, I'll probably delve into that next week. We may talk about a little bit tonight. Oh, Stephanie, you're staying. Awesome. You love my energy. Yay. I love that. Thank you. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I know several of you have asked about twin flames. So we'll be connecting with that probably next week. Thank you for asking that. And so also, let me just get back for a minute. Go ahead and like and follow my Elyse Ann Psychic page. Okay. And make sure your notifications are set for favorites. And that way you'll get all of my notifications when I go live for the mini readings and for Tabletop Thursdays. And I do a channeled message on Monday and Fridays. I pull a card and I channel a message from Spirit concerning that card, and that's posted. So, okay. Okay, great. So let's go ahead here into soul contracts. And it does tie in a lot with past lives, which we did last week. So they may overlap, not interlap, overlap. My words are twisted. So what is this about? Well, we choose many lifetimes. Many lifetimes we choose to live many lifetimes. And what do we do to prepare for that really is what this comes down to. Now, living multiple lifetimes, what does soul contracts mean to me? Okay, well, I'm going to start with all of this here, and this is from my, I'll answer that throughout this evening, and this is from my experience as a psychic, from my own personal experiences, from the fact that I've taught these workshops in the past. I used to teach at the local community college when they had adult education. And Natalie, I'll get to your question in just a second. And excuse me. So you'll get to this comes from my belief system also. So whenever I talk about any of these topics or anything that I share, whenever you interact with me, it is based a lot into what my experiences show me and what I believe. I'm always open to everybody else. I always love to exchange ideas because I learn and grow. I'm always looking to learn and grow. I never will profess that I know it all. I've had my belief systems shift over time when I've come across things that I went, yeah. So, okay. So, Natalie, okay, why do we have to sign a soul contract? All right, because it sets forth in a one sentence broad term first, I'll answer it. It sets forth our purpose in this lifetime. Okay. Every lifetime we choose to live, we're given a choice to reincarnate. And we are in total bliss and love and light when we're on the other side. But to evolve our soul, okay, to elevate, to ascend, to enlighten our soul, we have multiple lifetimes. We come to Earth to learn all kinds of different things, if you will, have different experiences. And did we sign a contract? How do you know? Yes, every lifetime we do, my dear love. And I'll get into a little bit of how we know. There'll be certain signs that'll trigger for you, and you'll understand, oh, I signed a contract with that person. Oh, so we I can tell you from my own experience, I believe that I have multiple reasons and purposes for this lifetime. And I know, hi Josh, welcome. And glad you're joining us this evening. Um, I know one of the purposes of my lifetime that I know I signed a soul contract about is forgiveness. And hi Susan. How do we know what we signed? Okay. So you guys have great questions. Okay, so before we incarnate, we decide that there's something we want to evolve, we want to learn, we want to come to Earth to enlighten ourselves. Okay, and so like for me, let me give you an example for me. How do we know what we signed? Okay, kind of jumping me ahead. I'm trying to get the background first so everybody can understand it. Okay, so I'm a survivor. Okay. And let's just say what I have chosen that as a human being? Probably not. But hi, Diana. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining us. This is Table Talk Thursdays. We're talking about soul contracts this week. And it is a weekly thing. And by the way, you guys, if you have a topic, I know Princess Sophia talked about twin flames. And we're going to cover that next week. If you have any other requests, please let me know. Obviously, I'm a little like, I don't know, my words aren't coming out so smoothly tonight, whatever it is. Okay. So Princess Sophia says, if we have karmic lessons to learn, are we given a choice to accept the contract or not? Yes. We are given options to shift and change. Okay, let me go back here. And let me see, I'm trying to do it a little bit, give you a little background because I think it's going to help you to understand the answer to some of these questions. Okay. So for me, like I said, I know it was about learning to forgive. I am a survivor, like I said. And so what happens, let me give you from the perspective of my contract. Maybe that'll help you understand too. So obviously one of my purposes here was to learn how to forgive and to learn how to love myself more. Okay, being a survivor, there's a lot that goes into it. So I know, Jen, can you start at the beginning and give us a baseline? Okay, well, okay, yes, we'll go backwards a little bit. So we choose, our purpose is to enlighten and to grow our soul. Okay. And so when we're in spirit, hi, Sam, welcome. Glad you're joining us this evening. Um, so we decide there's something we want to learn, something we want to contract. There's karma, there's learning growing our soul. And for example, here, I don't know why I'm a little like scattered, so give me a second. I took some note cards out from when I taught this workshop, and I'm glad I did because I feel like I'm a little all over the place. Okay, so it's in order to grow our soul. Okay, it's an agreement made between you and the universe before you're born. That's what a soul contract is. There are certain places, times, people, experiences that we contract to have to experience on this planet. Like I said, for me, I had to learn forgiveness. So how does one learn forgiveness? Um, it's about Cindy, I'll get to your comment in just a second. Um, Something has to occur for me to forgive. So someone or multiple people have to, let's say, do something or do an action that would cause me to have to learn to forgive. So I'm a survivor. So obviously there was an abuser in my life. Okay. Now, is that person a horrible person? From the earthly plane, we might go, oh, right. But from a spiritual standpoint, from the soul contract, they fulfilled their contract. I agreed to have this experience with them. Susan says we call this our book is made before we are born. Okay, I like that. Your book is made. Well, it's of one lifetime. See, there's Akashic records, which are a huge library of every single life that's ever been lived for all of us. So yes, this one we could say every life we have. Hi Shield. Oh yeah, you've had several heartbreaks. It's for you to learn some things. So every lifetime we have a book. Okay, I'll go with that, or a chapter of our book of many lifetimes. And Tracy, great question. You guys are just coming up. Okay, you got some great questions here. Okay, let me continue a little bit with the background here. Okay, and then I'm going to get into all these questions because they are awesome. Okay, um, so from my perspective, for my life purpose was to learn the forgiveness. And again, there's no way to learn it unless we experience something to cause us to learn it. Now, let's talk a little bit about, did I have a choice? Did I have a choice to forgive? Sure. We have free will, free choice. Okay. Um, we have an opportunity when we do this when we put together our contract, this agreement. we have an opportunity to discuss with the team on how we're going to serve ourselves and serve humanity. We're going to set up these timelines, these experiences, these people to come into our life. It's very, very, very intricate in many, many ways. And that's why sometimes I find it difficult to really kind of explain it, because it's so much huger than our human mind can really wrap around. I know that I still struggle with that sometimes myself, like a complete understanding with how is this all possible, but it is, because this is from spirit, this is universe, okay, and I believe in all of that. And so lots of times we reincarnate with our soul group also, because we're mirroring each other. We're there to learn different things. Sometimes we are, let's put it this way, the instigator. Some of us are sometimes the one that is perpetrated. We're the instigator. Sometimes we're the giver. We're the receiver of the not so pleasant things. That's an easier way of putting it. Okay, let me. Hopefully, it gives you a little bit of a base, because you guys have such great questions. I want to make sure I get to it. If you want me to go a little deeper into some of the background, let me know. But again, remember, these soul contracts are all about growing of the self, and we do have a collective purpose and we have individual purposes. Like I said, it's very, very intricate. Okay, so let me know, like I said, if you guys, let me see here. I've got some great, okay, let me go back to the top here and let me start answering some of these specific questions. And I see people talking about books, and one of the books that I absolutely love, and I even pulled it up on my phone, is called The Little Soul in the Sun. It's by Neil Donald Walsh. It is a fabulous book because, yes, it's based to be more of a children's book, but I love it because it talks about so much about that little soul, and we're all light on the other side, okay? We're complete light and love. That little soul wants to learn, that little soul wants to grow. And this book explains it so beautifully about how we're all love and light over there. But we say, hey, I want to sign this contract. I want to, sign this contract. I want to go have a physical, earth life, human life again. And this is what I want to learn. So all those love beings around us will volunteer to help us learn those lessons or enlightenment, or give us the possibility and the opportunity to grow. So they volunteer. So, in other words, again, I said I'm a survivor. That person volunteered. And it doesn't mean, from the physical, that's where it gets a little tricky. Doesn't mean from the physical earthly plane that it was okay, but I can understand more of the spiritual part of this and the contract. I know it's hard as a human being to sometimes wrap our head around that. Okay. But as I have grown and I have healed and I have learned forgiveness, I have a greater understanding of it. Okay. So they do it from love. It may seem very bizarre, hard to really take in, but they do. And that's why The Little Soul in the Sun is such um, a fantastic book, because it does talk about this beautiful being stepping up to help this little soul. The soul wants to learn compassion. Well, we have to be in a situation where maybe somebody isn't compassionate towards us. See, we can't understand cold without the hot. Can't understand hot without the cold. And this children's book talks about how the soul that volunteers to do something not so nice, let's say, so that that little soul can learn compassion, talks about how, just remember, when I show up of the dark, okay, remember who I am, that I am actually there out of love to help you grow. It's a beautiful book. If I would strongly suggest, I know it's a children's book, but I would absolutely strongly suggest as adults to read it, because it puts it in such beautiful, simple words that it helps for the human mind to kind of understand the concept. And I had it open, but it would take some time to read it, and I don't want to take the time tonight with you. I want to answer questions. Little Soul in the Sun. Little Soul, is it Little Soul in the Sun or Little Soul and the sun. Okay, well, I had it up here. Let me look one more time. But it's by Neil Donald Walsh. The Little Soul and the Sun is what I have here. Yep, Little Soul and the Sun. It's a beautiful book for anybody. Beautiful book for anybody. Okay, so let me go back in here. But I definitely find it hard to forgive, even when I have deep inside part of me is forever guarded when it comes to matters of the heart. I understand. And hi Soul, welcome. Yeah, oh yeah, the Disney cartoon Soul resonated with me. That was so cool. Yes, 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 the new movie. That new movie. Soul. Isn't it just called Soul, I think? Disney Plus has it on. If you get an opportunity, it talks about that too. How we serve a purpose in everybody's life that we come into contact with. Beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so let me go back up to the I'm going to go in order of some of the comments and questions because I love it. And by the way, as more and more people show up, I just want to say welcome. I'm so glad you're joining us. I am Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge the Unseen, and this is Table Talk Thursdays. It's an interactive open forum, as you can tell from all the comments, where we discuss a specific topic, metaphysical, spiritual, or inspirational topic every week. If there is a topic you want me to cover, please drop it in the comments because I'm here for you. I know these things. I've learned these things. I've experienced these things through doing what I'm doing and through who I am as a psychic. So I'm here to share. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to help you in that way. So I have all kinds of other opportunities and lives and all kinds of things that I do. So please go on my page, Elyse Ann Psychic. Follow and like my Elyse Ann Psychic page. Make sure your notifications are set at favorites. That way you'll get notifications when I go live. You'll get to see my posts. I channel a message every Monday and Friday. Lots of stuff that you can take advantage of. I also do one-on-one private sessions. So check it all out. Check out my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. I'd love to help you along your journey. All right, so here we go. Okay, so what does soul contracts mean to me? Well, like I was saying, to me, a soul contract is where I've had an agreement. We have so many agreements though. It's not just like my immediate, let's say, family members or my best friend. We have contracts. That's why it's so intricate, and our human minds sometimes have a difficult time. How can it be so intricate? How could it be, you know, a million people that we contract, a million souls, a million people, a million souls that we contract with? But we do. It's the littles and the bigs, if you will. And I see it meaning that I've decided to grow. I've decided to ascend. I've decided to come more and more into enlightenment for myself, for my soul purpose. So that to me, in a nutshell, is how I would describe what a soul contract means to me. You also asked, so Natalie asked, why do we have to sign a soul contract? Well, because it explains why we're being here. It's kind of like, gives us a blueprint, really, is what I would say. Gives us a blueprint for our life. Now, can it shift? Can it change? Can you break the soul contract in some ways? Yeah. We have free will, free choice. And also, it doesn't mean just because we had we have multiple purposes that we come for. And let's say that we don't necessarily fulfill them all. That's okay. That's okay. We'll just do it another lifetime. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So we have free will, free choice in a lot of it, but it gives us the blueprint. It's kind of like you're going to go on a road trip. Now, I was going to say, do you go willy-nilly? Well, some people do. They just jump and go, I don't know where, and we'll just go. And maybe, just maybe, that's a soul contract that somebody decided they wanted to learn or experience freedom, right? So they have no plans. But you see, when we're in spirit, we decide we're going to incarnate. That alone would be a blueprint. That alone would be part of our soul contract. Okay. When I say that alone, that would be a piece of it. So I hope that helped you with that question. Did we sign a contract? How do you know? All right. There are signs along the way that we have signed our contracts, and our contracts are about, meeting certain people, being in a certain place, with a certain goal in mind. Have you ever met somebody where you're like, haven't I met you before? You seem so familiar. Or I just know we're supposed to be friends. It's not a coincidence. Okay. Excuse me. Or you you have like a deja vu moment. See, my belief with that is I feel that we when we sign this contract, we get almost like a roadmap, almost like a movie, really quick, but we kind of see things along the way, right? Kind of a trailer, like movies have trailers, okay? And so I believe that those deja vus are like, I saw this somewhere, okay? That's another sign that it could be. Okay, so Natalie, how do we know what we signed? That's a really interesting and good question. Well, part of the purpose of this is not necessarily to have a full understanding, excuse me a minute, um, of what we signed. It's about experiencing it. Okay. But again, if when we're in situations, if we could step back and ask ourselves, if it's an unpleasant situation or what have we, what am I to learn from this? Why is this happening? What am I supposed to learn from it and grow from it? You'll be pretty sure that that was a contract piece for yourself. Okay, somebody comes into your life, they mirror you. That was contracted. If you had somebody who something, we've all had those situations that were not pleasant. There, to me, I believe there was a reason. What do we take from it? What do we learn from it? And we do have free will, free choice on how we react to it too. So it's really a mix. So hopefully that answered your question on that. So if we have karmic lessons to learn, are we given a choice to accept the contract or not? Princess Sophia. Yes, we definitely do. Like I said a moment ago. Let me see. Like I said a moment ago, we can choose. Great question. You guys got just I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay. We can choose to decide that we don't want to fulfill a part of our contract. It may be, this is an uncomfortable subject for a lot of people, but I know that it comes up if somebody has taken their own life. What does that mean? What happens? It may have just been, it was just way too painful for them, way too much. And they just couldn't. It's not a punishable offense. It's not like they're going to go some, jail, prison, and spirit world. No, they'll get the help they need. What I will tell you though, let's say there is something you contracted for to learn something, to grow into something, and you didn't do it this lifetime. That's okay. But you will choose another lifetime to do it because our sole purpose of our soul is enlightenment, growth, ascension. So maybe we couldn't handle it in this lifetime, but when we are a soul in spirit worlds, we are in complete unconditional love and light. And so it doesn't seem impossible to do these things. When we come to this heavy energy of earth, it can affect us in different ways. And it's okay. Some of us will have many lifetimes. It's okay. Some of us may grow faster than the others. There's no judgment on any of it. So, all right. Can you, okay, Jen, hopefully I gave you a good baseline there. Okay. Cindy says, I often feel several reincarnations have happened in this life journey. So many opportunities in life to learn and be repeatedly drawn to come back to the magic of Earth, Spirit, and Universe. Yes. Um, I would say, if I may, several reincarnations have happened in your soul's journey. Because lots of times when we say life, that's like that's a definition of the earth, an earthly definition, a human definition. And so, if I'm understanding what you're saying, I would say it's more, it's a soldier. Yes, many, 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 many lifetimes. And yes, opportunities are endless, boundless. I mean, there's just so very much to grow and to yeah, to come back to the magic of earth, spirit, and universe. Absolutely, absolutely. So I love that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Susan, we talked about the book Shield. You've had several heartbreaks. Well, honey, with that, it is about, this is part of what can occur in our contract. If we decide that we want to contract for a certain experience or to learn something particular, we're given multiple opportunities to learn it within the lifetime. Okay. So it's not that anybody's saying, well, how come you haven't learned that? We're all human. Okay. I got to tell you, I've had my own experiences in my lifetime. I like to put it this way. First, spirit might just whisper in our ear and say, okay, learn this. And then we're like, we don't learn it. And then we'll get a little tap. Maybe we learn, maybe we don't. Then we're going to get a little, push. Maybe we learn it, maybe we don't. Then we might get a kind of a shove. Maybe we learn it, maybe we don't. And then I don't like to say it this way, but then you get 2x4 right across the forehead. And I only laugh. It's not funny, but to me, I've had my own experiences with that. And I can look back and I can laugh now. Like, bit stubborn, wasn't I? I wasn't getting it. But yes, we have those opportunities. Spirit, it's not like, okay, here's your one chance and you're out. No, throughout our lifetime, one lifetime, we get multiple opportunities, excuse me, to learn what we're here to learn. And it is our choice. Obviously, for my situation, I wasn't choosing to learn it. Okay. Patience was a big one for me. Okay. And yes, I got 2x4. Yeah, was not fun. However, I've learned. Still got some learning to do on that one, but I got the big part out of the way. So yeah, so it's really, there's a book called Radical Forgiveness that I read years ago by Colin Tipping. And I love to, when it's appropriate, I bring it up because it talks about forgiveness from the earthly plane perspective and then forgiveness from the spiritual perspective. It's a beautiful book. It helped me grow and understand things even more. And it's interesting because I'm hearing my spirit team say this, and I'm like, okay, just the fact that you all have chosen to be part of this tonight. You chose to learn and grow in this aspect. You're curious, you want to know more. It tells us that, you're looking to expand. You're looking to become more spiritual and understand from a spiritual space. And it's interesting because when I'm here, I can see the numbers of viewers, right? And I'm seeing it go up and I see it go down a little bit. And then I see it go up and it's okay. Everybody's hearing the piece that they need to hear. And that's the beauty. It kind of relates to our soul contracts. Some of us may be more ready than others, and that's okay. Wherever you are in your path, wherever you are from the soul perspective and the earthly perspective, it's perfect. So that was just perfect. I love it. Because my spirit team sits here with me, and they will channel messages to me while I'm doing this, or just like they said to me, say this, say this. I'm like, okay. So so I think it's beautiful, and I'm so glad that you're all deciding to, go on this journey with me. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Okay. So Tracy, do we contract with the same souls each life cycle? Not every single one, but yes, we tend to be in soul groups. Doesn't mean that someone can't come in and out of that group, but yes, many, many, many lifetimes with the same people or souls. Many, many lifetimes. We talked somewhat about this last week with past lives, and looks like another question. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Thank you. Um, and the thing is that sometimes Like we all have spirit guides. And my belief is these spirit guides have had a life on the earthly plane and we've lived lives with them. Sometimes we decide to stay in spirit when they incarnate and we're their spirit guides or part of their spirit guides to help guide them along the way. So there's all types of options, but each life cycle is each life cycle can have the same souls that we're on earth with, and each life cycle can have some souls that do not incarnate at the same time. Again, that's all part of the soul contract that we put together. It is our blueprint. Okay. So let me see here. Give me a second. Excuse me. Okay. Lori says, I'm reading The Choice is Always Our Source book for Spiritual Progression book. So the title is The Choice is Always Our Source book for Spiritual Progression. Interesting. I'm not sure I've heard of that one. I'll have to look that up. Thank you for sharing that. Is always ours. Okay. What is the name of that book? Okay. Let's see. Lori replied. Okay. I'm reading The Choice is Always Ours, source book for spiritual progression. I see the word ours instead of our. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. So, Princess Sophia, what happens when the betrayal is so deep that we can't forgive? Do we have to come back to learn forgiveness? Well, if you're here to learn forgiveness, you still have opportunity. Let's just say, like I said, I was given multiple opportunities in this lifetime to learn patience, and I just didn't. So, Spirit delivered a 2x4, and I learned it. I had no choice but to learn it. But that also, again, is how I chose to react. See, we have free will, free choice. I chose not to learn it, but I also contracted, hey, if I don't learn it this many times, then hit me with the 2x4. I didn't put it in those words, but to me, that's a saying that I would equate it to. And so, if you what happens if betrayal is so deep that we can't forgive? Okay, it's not necessarily about forgiving a specific person. The bigger lesson is forgiveness in general. So let's say you cannot forgive a particular person right now. You may be given other opportunities with someone else to learn forgiveness. Now, I say may, it depends on your contract. And it depends if you choose to follow that or you want to veer off and you're done with that piece and you're like, okay, I'm too tired for this. Okay. I just want to have the rest of my 40 years in peace. Or however, again, we can renegotiate to some degree. I used to not believe that, but I do. Because we do have that free will, free choice. Our soul, our higher self is very powerful, and very empowered. Powerful is not about ego, but empowered. And so we can shift things also. But to answer it from a bigger question, or bigger a higher level, um hold on. If you choose not, if it comes to a point where it's just something you can't quite absorb, or you choose not to, you're done with attempting to learn it, yeah, eventually you will come back and learn it. Is the only way to do it is to experience the opposite, or to experience, like I said, have an experience that you need to forgive. When I say need, that would allow you the opportunity to learn to forgive. Okay. I hope that answered that question. Okay. Okay. Okay, Shield says, but I definitely find it hard to forgive, even when I have deep inside of me is forever guarded when it comes to matters of the heart. Um, oh, hi, Krista, welcome. And Sandy, hi. Lori, suicide is a topic. Okay, we'll look at that. I gotta sit with that, and maybe you can tell me kind of what direction you want me to go with that on the suicide. And I'll see, I'll consider it. Okay. Just trying to figure out, in what perspective you want to look at that at. Yeah. Okay. Shield, when you say, good evening. Hi, welcome. Glad you're joining us. Um, Sometimes it's hard to forgive, and this is for everybody, because again, from the earthly plane, like what the did this person do? It hurts. It's painful. Okay. But when we can pull back a little bit and understand there's a purpose, sometimes it helps us to forgive. Now, let's be clear. This is why a lot of people can struggle with forgiveness. Because the human side of us believes that forgiveness is saying, oh, it's okay. I forgive you for what you did. Forgiveness is not about saying or putting out the energy that it's okay from the human side of things. Forgiveness is about having a grace to understand that that person has their own motivations, their own traumas, their own pains, their own hurts from which they are motivated to act from. And so it frees us from the emotional aspect of turning it on ourselves and holding on to that pain. If you can kind of split it and understand that forgiving is not giving permission that it was done. It's not about that. It's something very, very different. So hopefully that helped you a little bit on that. Okay, sweetheart. All right. Oh, Lori, there is also Little Soul in the Earth. Really? Well, that's a new one on me. I'll have to look that up. This is why I love this. I learn from you guys too. It's great. Hi, Angela. Hi, Sandy. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to go a little forward. Hi, Melissa. Good evening. Oh, Angel Heart says, I know those 2x4s from Spirit Team could be hard. Oh, yes, they can, Angel Heart. Yes, they can. Oh, believe me, I know too. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so let me go back up here. And okay, let's see. Lori, how does one find out what is in their contract and what to know what I need to learn? Okay, cool. I'll get to that in a second. Lori says, like that definition on forgiveness. I have to tell you, I have to be honest, Lori, forgiveness, and to everybody, forgiveness was not my wheelhouse. No, 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 no. I held on to things for years, years, believe me. Okay, I'm a survivor too. So, however, through my growth, evolving and expanding and seeking and healing, that just really the complete understanding of forgiveness came to me in the last year or two. So it's okay. What I'm trying to say, it's okay no matter what age you are, where you are in your progress, where you are in your path and your journey and your learning. It's okay. Allow it to be what it is. I was ready to accept it. I was ready to understand it. And if you're not, that's okay. It's not a judgment. You'll get there. You'll get there. But yeah, I had to learn because we hold on to that pain. It almost justifies us, but it only actually in reality hurts us because we're the ones paying the price emotionally. So, you'll it's a beautiful thing to understand. And I love that I've gotten to that point because I love that I can share it from that perspective. And I think that a lot of people just need to hear it acknowledged that way, especially the difference between the spiritual and the human. Because humanity, it comes with the label of, well, if I forgive you, that means I'm saying it's okay. But it's not. It's separate. So thank you for that. Okay. Okay, excuse me. My nose is itching. You guys know me. I get these allergies. It's also when I'm kind of channeling. I've never figured it out. I don't know why. For years this happens on and off. My nose just itches. I don't know. I hope one day they'll tell me why, because I haven't figured it out yet. They have not told me why. Anyhow, but I laugh. What else are you gonna do? So, okay, how does one find out what is in their okay? Well, Lori, finding out what is in your contract and what you need to know to learn, what you need to learn. Um, you can work with someone like me, psychic, if you're so guided to do that. We can dig deep into it and see what spirit has to say. Um, also, um, you can sit with your own team and ask them. But let me also offer this to you and to everyone. If you are being faced with the same pattern, ding, 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 ding. That is part of what you're here to learn. That is part of what you contracted for. Okay. So if you're seeing the same pattern with different people, you're reliving the same experience over and over, that's a huge sign that that is something that spirit you contracted to look at, and that spirit is asking you, whoa, hello. That is a good way of looking at it. If and we all have patterns. Oh, yeah. Part of being human. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm here to tell you, we can heal it. Okay. We can. Um, and just keep in mind, though, I just want to say, because I have gone very deep into my own healing, and I've gone through a lot of healing, but I used to say, oh, yeah, I've healed it. There's always pieces that might show up. Okay. Some of these things are so deep in us. So have patience and compassion and empathy and grace for yourself. But that is a huge, huge book, a huge, huge way that you can tell that that's part of what's in your contract. Also, when there are synchronicities, okay, things are just occurring. That's usually, you can say, what's this here to tell me? And it could be positive synchronicities too. Okay, this is not all ooh hard times. No, that's another way on how you can recognize, okay, this part of your contract. Hi, Michelle. That's okay. She says she's a little late. That's okay because you're here this evening, and I'm glad you're here, and you're here exactly when you need to be. And just so everybody knows, if you've missed part of this, any live I ever do is always posted on my page after the fact. So you could always go in, replay it, or if there's a part you want to listen to, you're like, I want to hear that again. So feel free, please, because that's what it's there for. Hopefully I'm not looking for my videos to just lay dormant, if you will. So as many times as you need to. Also, share. It's a little late to share the live tonight. I tend to forget to say this in the beginning, but in the future, invite your friends, share it on your timeline, share it into groups. Invite your friends to my page. Let them take advantage of everything I have to offer. I am here to help humanity. One of my hugest purposes, that one wasn't even good grammar. I'm having a thing tonight, aren't I? I've come into knowing that my life purpose sits in the work that I do. And this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. And this is what I do because I love it and I'm here to help. So invite your friends. Let them take advantage of everything I have to offer. I would just absolutely love it. Okay. If you don't fulfill your contract in this lifetime, do you have to complete it in another lifetime? Okay, that was from Jen. Good question. um, so it's interesting to use, do we have to? We have free will, free choice. At some lifetime, you will choose it. There's no have to's or shoulds, okay? But eventually you will because you'll want to. And again, if you don't fulfill, I want to say that we fulfill some parts of our contract no matter what. It's a very multidimensional, intricate contract. So I want to say I'm sure we fulfill some of it. But again, we have choices. And if we decide we want to veer off of it, this is a part I don't want to fulfill this lifetime, that's absolutely okay. No judgments. You're not sent to some purgatory once you cross over, bad Jen, you didn't do it. No, it's none of that. We do have free will, free choice. And that's the beauty of it. There's destiny, there's fate, there are things that have to happen, but we also have um, choice and opportunity in so many ways in our contracts. It's not so ironclad that it absolutely has to go the way it's exactly written. Okay. That's a little further than we have time for tonight, but yeah, so we will want to come back. Okay, so Tracy's going back to I agree, Elyse. I feel like We get a life preview just as we get the review when we die. Yes, I talked a little earlier about how deja vu, where we go, wait, I've seen that. I believe this is my belief system that when we put these contracts together, we almost have the preview of it all in fast motion. It's almost like movies have trailers. Our soul contract, our earthly life will have a trailer almost of it. Goes by very fast, but that's where the deja vu comes from. And many times so mundane. It's like, what? And that's part of why I do believe it's part of our review of our contract. But yes, we do have, or preview, excuse me. Yes, we do. That's a whole nother part of it. When we cross back over, we do have a review. I talked about that some past lives last week. So, and if you guys want to go back over this at any point, like in a future live Table Talk Thursday, let me know. I'm open to all of it. So just let me know. I'm here for you. Like I said, I know these things. So it's really for your benefit to learn and grow and ask me questions. So, okay. Jen says, do we stop reincarnating when we have fulfilled all our contracts and get them right? Okay, Jen, awesome. Let me just say, I don't believe in a right or wrong. I believe there just is. Nobody says we have to. Nobody says it's right or wrong. This is just something that I've grown into because to me, right or wrong is judgment. It's not so much getting it right. It's about expansion, ascension, enlightenment. Okay. I'm not trying to call you out, sweetheart. This is just part of what I teach too. I come from a very, very judgmental, negative background. And so I have made it part of my life practice and purpose to help people with that and to bring it to the attention because it's shifting the way we view things as human beings because we have a lot of all of us a hurtful way of putting things and processing things and perspectives and so I've grown from that so I just bring that up, sweetheart. Do we stop reincarnating? Not necessarily when we fulfill all our contracts. No, because at that point, I don't believe we can make that choice. But lots of times we want to come back and help. We want to help individuals. We want to help humanity. I also am a firm believer that once we have fulfilled all of our contracts and we have totally enlightened, we are now an ascended master. Jesus, Buddha, Moses, Allah, all of that, all of them, all of those beings, let's say, are all ascended masters. And so we can choose. So there is no that we have to. There is no nothing about that. But many times we choose to come back and fulfill helping humanity just cause. Okay. Okay. Can we pick up on from our past lifetimes? I'm sorry, Susan. I'm not sure what you're asking me on that. Can we pick up on from our past lifetimes? Um, Give me a little clarity on that. I know we're coming into the last 5 minutes, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to cover all the questions. I'm going to see. I'm close to it. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll go a few minutes over. But Susan, if you can give me a little clarification, not sure because again, I'm looking at the comments, kind of a little past time because I'm so busy talking, and then you guys come with all of these comments and questions, and it's beautiful but I'm 5 minutes into this and then I get to the comments. So let me know what you meant by that, please, sweetheart. Okay, Princess Sophia, if we are treated badly in this lifetime, is that because we were the abuser in the last lifetime? So now we are the receiver. Yes, in a nutshell, yes. And let me address that because that one is really, really tough for a lot of people. Because, hello, hi, Maureen, welcome. So that one is a tough one, Princess Sophia, but yes. Okay. It connects in with the past lives also. It is about karma. Sometimes we are the little soul, like I talked about, the little soul in the sun, that says, I want to learn this, I want to learn this. And sometimes we are that loving soul that steps up and says, okay, I will be the darkness in your life to create this situation so that you do learn this. So, yes, we have been both. Now, it's really hard. Like for me, let's put an example for me. I'm Elyse Ann. I could not imagine in my wildest dreams hurting another living being. I just can't, other than maybe bugs because they don't belong. So, out. But I try not to. But I seriously though, I can't even imagine inflicting that kind of pain. So as Elyse Ann, I'm over here going, what? I abused some what? In a past life, I maybe was a murderer or an abuser, or I can't wrap my human mind around that. But you see, I wasn't Elyse Ann in that lifetime. I incarnated as someone else and I chose to learn a certain lesson. So just remember that because it can be very difficult to wrap our heads around it because we cannot imagine being anything like that in this lifetime. But it does serve a purpose. And there is karma. We didn't get to talk too much about that, but there is karma, positive and negative. Yes, it's part of why we contract to clear the karma, to balance the karma. Absolutely. Okay. Cindy Rose, those 2x4s, right? Not fun. Natalie, we chose to learn and grow, but doesn't mean we need to suffer all our life until we get it. All right, Natalie, good question. We don't have to suffer. Suffer is a human condition. And I understand what you're saying from the human side of things. Absolutely. Some of our growth and lessons can be positive too. So it's not always about all suffering. Okay. And I keep hearing from Spirit that it is about learning our lessons. So we have choice. This is where we have choice, free will and free choice. So now, hopefully, tonight, by you being here and all of you, you'll start to look at things a little bit differently and maybe open up that door a little bit more from the spiritual aspect and perspective. Again, remember, it doesn't make it okay on the human level. That's where we get tripped up sometimes. But again, if we can step back a little bit and look at it and recognize that this is a spiritual lesson, it is one of our lessons. We can lessen the suffering. We can learn the lesson quicker. We can make a decision to say, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm going to do this shifting now. All right. Just be aware when we do that, we believe we've learned, Spirit will deliver a test. Doesn't have to be hard, but they will. They'll check it. And it's just for your awareness. It's just out of love. So again, remember all of these lessons, we tend to think, oh, the suffering, oh, that hurt. And yeah, we've had a lot of that, but some of our lessons can be very positive too. Maybe you met somebody that inspired you. Didn't have to hurt, but you, through their actions and observing them and their interactions with you, they changed your whole life into a different direction for the good, for the positive, if you will. There's a huge lesson. Maybe you have somebody in front of you that has a lot of integrity. And not that you don't have integrity, but it inspires you to absolutely solid, only surround yourself with people with integrity. That's a positive lesson. Just an example. Okay. How do you know what you are supposed to learn? Okay, I think we talked about that. A lot of you asked that. I believe we covered it. We are in the last few minutes. Let me just see. I want to make sure. Okay, Jen, you asked, is there a book or anything you can recommend for one to be able to forgive? Yes. I don't know if you were here. I think you were at the beginning, but I'll say it again. There's a beautiful book I read years ago that changed my life called Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. It's Colin, I believe, Tipping, like tipping a table. Something is tipping. T is in Tom, Ipping. Changed my world because he really gets in there and explains it. There are two perspectives. There is the human perspective of forgiveness, and there is the spiritual perspective of forgiveness. And I've spoken about that some tonight, about seeing it from the spiritual aspect, the spiritual perspective. There is a reason this is happening. There's a reason you contracted. There's a purpose that this is happening for you to grow and heal. So it's a great book. Okay. Can we void our contract, Michelle? You know what, Michelle, I did cover that earlier, so you might want to do the replay, but very quickly I'll say yes, we can. We can. There are multiple different ways we can. We can renegotiate also. So hopefully you'll listen to the live. I know you got here a little late, that's fine. But yes. Okay. Princess Sophia, if we move out of a situation, is that a form of forgiveness for our soul and not a person? If we move out, is that a form of forgiveness for our soul? Um, I'm going to say yes, but it also depends what you walk away with. In other words, what did you really learn from it? Did you truly learn forgiveness, or did you just remove yourself from a situation that was presented to you to learn forgiveness? Kind of a fine line, sweetheart. Kind of a fine line. Okay. Tobogo. Excuse me. That's okay that you're late. Like I said, everyone, I'm so glad you're here this evening. And we are about ready to wrap up our hour. I'm a little bit over, but this is such great conversation and interaction. I didn't want to just cut it off. So we're going to go a few more minutes, but let me tell all of you that this is a weekly Thursday. Let me know if there's any topic specific, metaphysical, inspirational, or spiritual topic you want to cover. I'm here for you. Next week, I believe, is going to be twin flames. We'll probably talk about that. But I'm going to be doing this on an ongoing uh, period. I'm going to just keep doing it every Thursday. So let me know. I'm open for anything that you guys want to learn about. And sometimes I learn about it too. So it's awesome. This will be posted on my Elyse Ann Psychic page once we're done. It posts. So please rewatch it, replay it, share it with your friends. So it'll be there. It'll be there for you. Tiffany, dang, I'm so late. That's okay. I just got done addressing that. Hopefully you'll listen to it after. It'll be posted as soon as we're done here. Princess Sophia, was learned by patience, and how can I learn patience? Oh, that's so multifaceted, my dear love. Okay, Susan, I got it. I'm going to answer that for you. And I'll tell everybody what that was. Um, Patience in and of itself is something to learn, but it does flow into a lot of different things, just like everything else. Okay. That's a huge question. And for example, let me just give you an example. Maybe it'll put it in a little bit of context. By having patience, we can learn grace, benefit of the doubt, allowing somebody their space and time. That's a piece. Okay. That's a beautiful piece that Spirit wants me to share tonight. Not to go much further with it, but hopefully that gives you kind of a reference point. It's much, much bigger than that. And how can you learn the patience? It's through experience. It's through learning and growing and understanding and adapting and assimilating all of that. To know that, when it comes to patience, there are certain things you just have to let it be in its own time. Same as divine timing. We have to let it be in its own time. Have to. Well, we could fight it. It's not necessarily going to change anything. All right. Okay. So Susan says, what I'm trying to say is, can we pick up from our past lifetimes, meaning many lifetimes, past to present? Yes. That is a lot. That's another whole nother topic. But yes, it does fall into, if we've only learned part of what we were here to learn in a past life, we can pick it up again. All of this stays in our cellular level, our DNA. We will have new experiences to learn it, but if you learned half of it, let's say, you've got that half, and you come back and you learn the other half. Let's say, I'm putting it in very simplistic terms, but that's the best way I know how to kind of explain that in a quick way. So hi Zona, welcome. So I'm glad for that question. I hope that helped you in that regard. So what I want to say is, we're coming to the end. I'm going to step into a channel and let me see what Spirit wants to say about this. Um, Let me just see, because normally they'll channel a message here. I'm feeling them a little, they may be saying it's time, Elyse Ann. and quite a few clients today too. So, um, there's a time where I start to wind down a little bit, but let me just see what Spirit wants to say. And we will close with a channeled message. Do not fear, do not judge, for you are human beings for a purpose. All that is, all that will be, and all that you are experiencing is for the divine and of the divine, for your soul and your spirit. Remember that it is all love and light that will help you upon this earth. Take care of yourselves and see it all from the perspective, as much as you possibly can, being human form, of the love and light and the open hearts that surround you, even when it seems dark. It is there. Look for it. You will find it. With much love. Oh, okay. Oh, my body's chilling. Okay. Sometimes that happens and I have to let it kind of just pass through. That's spirit, my connection. So I don't even remember what was said because when I'm channeling, I'm here, but I'm not here. So I just always like to end all of my lives by saying I am so blessed and honored that you have all joined me this evening. And with much love, thank you for being part of my world and allowing me to help you along your journey. And I am here when you need me for what you need me for. And I hope to have the opportunity to meet again. A lot of you are my followers. Some of you are new, and I hope I see you all again very soon. And please like and follow my Elyse Ann Psychic page because I've been doing impromptu lives, last minute lives. I have so much fun with it. You can see I light up. This is what I love to do. This is part of my contract for this lifetime. It has become very clear to me that I'm here to spread the love and compassion as much as possible and to touch as many hearts as possible to bring you and them joy, love, and compassion. And so thank you again for being here tonight. And I hope to see you again real soon. And let me know if there is a topic that you would like me to share one evening. I would love to do that. Many blessings. Have a happy good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Much love. Mwah. Thank you. You make my world. Thank you so much. See you soon.